Hey everyone, it's Steve from Experience Milwaukee. For more than 3 years, this podcast has been bringing you the behind-the-scenes stories of the things that make Milwaukee amazing. Over that time, we've grown to listeners in more than 40 states and 30 countries. So much of what Adam and I do with this show is made possible by our sponsors: Few Spirits, Indeed Brewing, Cost Stereophones, Bitter Cube, Transfer Pizzeria Cafe, and our education partner, Cardinal Stritch University. We're grateful for their support and for you, our loyal listeners. And now, let's get on with the show, starting with opening music from Milwaukee's very own and Whammy award-winning Black Belt Theater.
Hi, my name's Allen Halas. I'm a music writer for Shepherd Express, and to me, Milwaukee is on the verge of something very, very special.
Adam, how are you, buddy?
Who is this?
Who?
Hey, I'm great.
What do you want from me?
I'm great. The cocktails were flowing last night in the best way possible.
You're feeling it?
I still can't get over the fact that the Manhattans, with the added shout out to our homies at Bitter Cube, with the added orange Bitter Cube bitters, made such a difference.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
In the drink. And you said you went light on the sweet vermouth.
I pull it back a bit so the bourbon comes forward on it.
Yeah.
That's what I do for you. I spend
Thanks,
all
man.
this time just
muddling.
Yeah, doing all of this work here for you. So when you come over, it's just fine for you. I hope you're happy.
That's a lot of effort, man.
Well,
and I appreciate that.
It's worth it because you just gave a shout out, so thanks.
I did. It was great.
You know, that stuff I know really well.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else neither of us knew about.
There is something very specific.
We just found out about. We knew about the Shepherd Express. Who doesn't? Who doesn't know about that? We've known about the Best of Milwaukee Awards. Who doesn't know about that? What we didn't know is that we were nominated in some way.
Yes.
By some power.
Yeah. By some person's insanity or goodwill toward us.
Yes. I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of that story, but we're going to get to the bottom of some other things because we've got Allen on the show. Allen, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you guys for having me.
You got it.
Absolutely.
We're excited because we're clueless. We don't know what in the world happens.
We're excited about our cluelessness.
Yes. But before
That's a good thing to be excited about.
Why not?
There could be worse. So before we go down that path, Alan, we like to back up and just say, okay, we don't know anything, and that's true about a lot of stuff. And let's pretend people haven't heard of the Shepherd Express or you, and we know those two things are not true as well. But why don't you give us just some history on the Shepherd and its role in this community here in Milwaukee?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Shepherd Express is Milwaukee's alternative news. We were formerly a weekly newspaper, but now we're a monthly magazine. You can pick us up for free all over the southeastern Wisconsin area. And we have been really operating for about 40 years. Actually, 2022 will be our 40th anniversary.
That's awesome.
So we have always had a kind of, an opinionated, informed, viewpoint of the world. And we cover a lot of things that you don't really get in conventional media. I mean, whether that be, really, really great stories. I particularly focus on local music and things like that. So, you might get hammered with the same stories from, all of the other news outlets in the Milwaukee area, but you're going to catch something new with us. That's always been the goal. Yeah, I personally have been there just a little bit over a year and a half now. So I like I said, my emphasis is on local music. I also do a Milwaukee Bucks column every Monday, and really have been enjoying my time there.
That's cool.
Oh, that's really sweet.
How'd you get into covering local music and shit like that? Like, that's awesome.
So I have been in and around local music for over a decade, actually. I used to produce music way back in the day. I used to produce instrumentals for hip hop artists, and then went to school for production, and kind of I formed my own website too, which I still operate. But I mean, that led to giving me like a really proper journalism background.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, local music has kind of been in my blood for a while now, where I really know a lot of people in town, and I've gotten to know the ins and outs of it, and thrilled to be bringing that coverage to Shepherd Express too.
What are the coolest things in your opinion? And I'm not like asking you to like in a way that you have to rank anything, but what are some of the coolest things or unique things about Milwaukee's local music scene that maybe make it a little bit different or just more fun or whatever, than other places, or just in your opinion that it just makes it really cool?
So it's an exciting time for Milwaukee music, honestly, because I've always, in my history of covering it and being in and around it, like I said, I've always determined that it's kind of been like a group of pockets. Like there's a little pocket here of like, people that are really lyrical hip hop artists. And then there's a pocket of like grungy hipster bands that might, be over in like River West. And then, well, River West is kind of like the melting pot for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then, like there could also be like a world music scene, or like there's club DJs. Like there's so many different genres of music, and I think people miss that it happening here in Milwaukee at the same time. And now it kind of feels like, through various local outlets, including Shepherd Express, it feels like those different little pockets with like 10 to 20 people are all getting the chance to kind of see each other and play together nicely, and really kind of meld together. So I think that there's really, really the potential to build something very great here. Something that can be recognized on a national level for sure.
That's awesome. Adam secretly, not so secretly, still wants to be a rock star.
All of us do. That's why you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's. I mean,
I feel like that's true for everybody.
I know.
I'm Johnny Everyman in this instance.
Growing up, I wanted to be a rock star or to be a basketball player when I was like very, very little, and now I'm a person that writes about music and basketball. So I mean, I'm the same person I was when I was 3.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
I am not far from 3 either. So Allen, if I'm in from out of town and I'm looking for, I know this is unfair, right? But if I'm just going to go check out some live local music, where am I going?
I am sending you to the Cactus Club. Absolutely.
All right.
Kelsey Kaufman took over that place a couple years ago now, like right before the pandemic, actually. But she's been booking bands there for a long time, and she really does a great job of getting an eclectic mix of artists there together. I would also be sending you to X-Ray Arcade in Cudahy.
Okay.
It was the former Vanuk's Lounge.
Yeah.
It is still an arcade, but both of those spaces really try to emphasize too all ages music, all ages accessibility to live music. But those would probably be my top 2. There's a lot of great venues all over the city though too. I mean, Best Place at Pabst Brewery is starting to book things. The Miramar Theater over on the east side. There's a lot. So I mean, there's a lot, but I would probably send you to Cactus Club and X-Ray Arcade first.
All right. Awesome. All right, Adam, what do you think? Maybe we can put something together and get a gig at one of those places.
Yeah, yeah, and then get booed off stage immediately.
Get away. I don't think any of those places would let us in.
Probably not. Maybe a live podcast.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is a shot in the dark, but maybe.
I'm managing kids coming down into into the basement here. So
by that, do you mean that you are furiously swatting one hand while wide eyeing them? Like, I am recording right now.
I was like, recording. Yes, exactly.
Yep, got it. I can picture it now.
So I'm gonna segue from that was a good segue into like best of Milwaukee stuff. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe? All right.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think you're sold.
I
don't think you two are sold on it.
Beat around the bush some more.
Alan, what the heck?
This is what we brought you on for, Alan.
Yeah, what the heck?
That's all right.
This is what we want.
What the heck is this best of Milwaukee stuff? How does this work?
So, Best of Milwaukee is actually one of the longest running readers polls in Milwaukee. And that goes back to the Shepherd being a weekly alternative newspaper. It is a true readers poll in the sense that there's a nomination round that happened in the fall, and you could nominate literally anyone for the right category. Obviously, they had to be the appropriate category. We can't have, like Chinese restaurant winning like best rock band or something like that.
Right. Damn it.
But there's a nomination round. Yeah. So there's a nomination round for over 300 categories, and then we narrow it down to generally around 4 nominees, the top 4 vote getters, unless there's ties. So over 1,200 nominees for the Best of Milwaukee Awards. And then we will be having a virtual presentation this year on January 4th at 6 p.m. on YouTube, and shepherdexpress.com, where you'll get to reveal all of the winners and see who is the best in Milwaukee per the readers and voters here in the city.
That is so cool. So as we alluded to, or just flat out said in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Adam, what the heck happened here?
I don't know, but it's not only an honor, but it is a shock to the system, to the core. This is truly a nights and weekends passion project for Steve and me. And it's cool that not only are we getting friends and great connections and acquaintances to turn friends for the always the joke that we have for this is that we did this for the free beer and the free food, but truly,
hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
But truly, we truly do this because we want to meet cool people doing cool stuff in Milwaukee, and the free beer and the free food that comes with it is a giant work perk.
Yeah, so good.
Good. It's a huge work perk. It's fantastic. But I mean, we do it because I think back on all the guests that we've had previously, and it's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
Yeah,
just to be able to talk to people who are so passionate about what they do that they want to come onto a podcast with 2 dudes and just talk about it for 20 minutes or a half hour.
So, Alan.
Yeah, exactly.
In all honesty, we truly did not know. So whoever nominated, or if it's more than one person, whoever nominated us, thank you. We did not know for some reason, and then we were notified of being a finalist. And Adam and I were nearly ready to just quit our jobs and do this full time. So
from that one email,
it's like let's just quit and give everything up and just do this podcast.
Hopped on Google, figured out what a resignation letter should look like.
Yeah. We didn't even win, and we're doing all of this work on resigning. And I think that just shows, or hopefully it conveys to you, and you can bring that back to the rest of the team there, that how much these awards really mean. And you see it, in a lot of places that you go, that people pound their chest and say, hey, we were voted best of Milwaukee because of what you said, Alan. It's truly the people who live here and dine here and listen here and work here that and do the things here that vote on what is and what are the best things. And that's what makes it unique and cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like you kind of said there, if you go around town and you see, they're usually silver plaques with a red star on them. Those are Shepherd Express Best of Milwaukee awards, and the people that do get those are very proud about them, to have them, and display them, and it's kind of a little badge of honor to say that the city has selected you as, like, the top whatever it is, whatever your category is. We do have over 300 categories. A lot of them are very, very wide ranging. Like, I think specifically of the dining categories, there's things like best place to eat alone, or best
Oh,
best
wow.
kitchen that's open after 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So we do have like every kind of facet of these different things. There's specifically things like art galleries that are not the art museum and things like that.
That's so cool.
So I mean, like, it really does. It kind of is a testament to the amount of amazing people and places that we have here in the city, and it feels good to shine a light on those sorts of things too. And much like what you guys are doing with the podcast, being able to bring these people in with all these different walks of life. If you look through that ballot, you can see a wide variety of backgrounds, a wide variety of different offerings here in the city, and there's a lot of places that people honestly might not know about that are making the ballot as a finalist. So it's good if you really want to explore the city too, because you can you have recommendations right there.
That's awesome. Besides fortune, fame, the trophies, what else do winners get?
Well,
That's
they are
it.
mentioned in our January magazine, which will be on newsstands or our stands around the city on January 5th, I believe.
Cool.
They get recognized in that as well. Like I said, we have the virtual presentation this year, so they'll be recognized there. And I mean, honestly, the bragging rights of being named Best in Milwaukee
Hell
are
yeah.
pretty prestigious.
The
there can only
bragging
be one
rights
best.
are
Yes,
enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam was wondering if you've ever seen that some of the winners or any of the winners ever get a tattoo of their award. Adam was wondering that.
Yeah, it was
Look.
definitely me wondering that.
Look, we do have a category for best tattoo shop.
Oh, there you go.
I personally do not know if anyone has ever gotten the tattoo.
They haven't followed back
you
up with you
guys-
on it.
But if you guys are so inclined to do that, I believe we would post that on our Instagram and probably
you
our
go.
Facebook too.
There you go.
So, I mean,
Worth it.
that's your chance. If you were to win, now the next step is you have to get the tattoo. It's
Yep.
part of how this goes. I mean,
Oh,
now
shit.
you've laid it out there. We can't.
Yeah,
just
you
tease
really
it like
talked
that.
yourself into it, Steve.
I was asking for Adam. Oh man. So all right. So give us the details on the awards on January 4th. The awards show again. It's all virtual. They can watch on the website or on YouTube. Did we miss anything? Like, how are people going to find it?
No, you nailed it right there.
There you go.
Yeah, you can go over to shepherdexpress.com and then click on the Best in Milwaukee tab. The video will be right there. It's a YouTube premiere. So on January 4th at 6 p.m., it goes live for the first time, and there's no skipping through it. Like everybody is watching it together, which is really cool.
That's so cool.
So it does have all the effects of like still doing an event. We would love to be in person. Unfortunately, we just kind of can't this year. It's just still not safe to do it.
Yep.
With the amount of people that we would have in the building for that sort of thing.
Cool.
So being able to do this virtual presentation, though, is cool because we're going to have all sorts of personalities from all over the city introducing categories and revealing winners. So there's going to be a little bit of element of surprise. Like, you never know who's going to come up next
Nice.
on the screen and to introduce the winners.
Is it wrong for me to rent a limo that drives me to my own house to watch the awards show in my living room?
Is it wrong?
Is it wrong?
We do kind of have a red carpet theme this year. So if
nice.
if you want to go full out and rent the limo, there may maybe the best way to do it. Otherwise, maybe just get a really nice Uber. I don't know.
How much? That's an option.
And watch it on your phone while you're being driven around the city.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it just
Yeah,
drives
there you
me
go.
around the block and then pulls.
Yeah,
back up
and then
to my
drops you
house.
off.
Yeah,
And then as you get out of the car, he just goes, "What a weirdo."
No, he'll go. See you later, winner.
But
There
he
you go.
had no.
All of
He
the
had no
neighbors will be staring at you.
Yeah, and this Uber driver had zero context of why you were in the car in the first place.
I'll
You said
have my
nothing to him.
tattoo already.
You just the driver knew.
I'll have my tattoo. I'll show him, her, whoever.
That sounds great.
Okay, what
Whatever
about
you do, you just let us know.
Yeah, Alan, what about any other places? You mentioned the Facebook and the Instagram. What are the best places besides to just check out Experience Milwaukee winning the award on a normal day? Where can people go to follow along and keep up with everything?
Yeah, on a normal day, I mean, we have tons of content every single day over at shepherdexpress.com. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Shepherd Express for all of them. And we have usually the first Wednesday of every month, we are on hundreds of stands around southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a place to pick up the Shepherd Express, there is an interactive map on our website as well. So you can find it in most local grocery stores and local establishments. But you can hit the map first, and then you can pick it up. We have a lot of great content.
Yeah.
And like I said, it is really truly an alternative publication. So we thrive on things that maybe you haven't heard about yet.
Nice. Hey, keep up the great work and keep shining a light on all these places in the city. This is really awesome. I know we were having some fun with this stuff, but it truly is. We truly do appreciate being part of this conversation. And, regardless of what happens on the 4th, you've got a couple of weirdos over here who are probably going to find a way to do some of those things on the Best of Milwaukee list next year.
Yep.
Absolutely. You definitely should. Thank you guys for having me on. And, I look forward to seeing who's going to be the winner.
Yes.
Yes. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Adam, you can come over or I'll come over and we'll watch together.
Okay. That sounds good.
And we'll record it and we'll just cry or laugh or
or
cry,
both.
or both. Yeah. And then I'll
there you go.
I'll tattoo you.
Yep. Okay. That sounds great.
All right, good. I've got some markers here. All right, guys.
I expect at least one tattoo out of this now.
Yeah,
I do too. You know what? I do too.
All right.
And it's probably gonna be me because Steve's not.
It'll
a big
be Adam
tattoo
for sure.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to. It's like, how do I back my way out of this now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't. So we'll figure out what happens. Alan, thanks so much for jumping on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me as well.
Adam, thank you for all you do.
Steve, thank you.
Adam,
for also being here as well.
Adam,
Steve.
You know.
And now, Milwaukee's own Black Belt Theater.